So, in order to manage your attack surface, we have something at RiskIQ called a digital threat management program. And this allows you to scale the management and the administration of your attack surface so that you can stay on top of all of these things. You get all of the visibility in a rich query language for interrogating your inventory of assets online, and then using that to inform your security program and assess your risk posture. And so RiskIQ offers complete visibility and control over digital threats. And the way that we achieve this is through this continuum here. And so we start with the top right-hand corner where we have 24/7 reconnaissance across web, mobile, and social channels. And so what we're doing there is we're working with partners and we're working with our own technology to download and grab as much information as possible. And so we're getting entire mobile app stores, we're scraping things off of the social media providers, we're working with their APIs to get the fire hose of data. We're looking at new domains and hosting infrastructure that gets registered. We're looking at how the internet changes on a regular basis. And all of that feeds into the next stage of gathering intelligence and analytics. And we're doing this by performing routine internet scans and then using our web crawling technology to collect as much data as possible. We want all of the details so that we can then feed into that third step, identifying and mapping your attack surface. And so you may know some about your attack surface today based on assets that you have directly available to you. But what RiskIQ will go and do is we'll leverage all of the data that we've been collecting for the past 10 years and that rich history and how it's associated with each other in order to build out your attack surface, both the things you own, the things you may not know about, and then the things that are rogue or imposter to your business. Our digital threat management platform will then leverage the automation and machine learning to prioritize and triage critical events. And so we want to make sure that everybody within your security team is seeing all of the events that we're identifying as problems within your attack surface. This could be vulnerable technology that's running on assets that are exposed out to the internet. Could be mobile or social profiles that are not sanctioned by your business that are being registered on your behalf. It could be down to someone maliciously registering a typo squatting website meant to look like your business and used in a phishing attack. What we want to do is raise those alerts up to your security team and make sure that each group who's responsible for handling those individual events are then able to do something about it. At the very least, we want to make sure that they just know that it's now visible to them. What arguably would have went completely unnoticed before is now something that they can choose to act on. And so that feeds into one of the final stages here is orchestrating that process to defend and remediate threats. If you're dealing with a mobile application that's infringing on your brand, we want to provide you a way to take that down. If that person set up a typo squatting page and they're now phishing your customers trying to be like you, we want to be able to take that down. We want to block that at the browsers and let everybody know that that's bad. If a new vulnerability comes out and it's impacting a certain technology that you know is used across your digital footprint, we want to be able to essentially give you the tools to run the query, identify those impacted assets, and then make the appropriate decisions. And then last but not least, we want to report on the risk and the progress towards a safer enterprise. We want to ensure that you're getting the best out of your investment in RiskIQ by providing you not only with the tools, the ability to have that visibility and then to do something about it, but we want to make it so that you can go to your management and say, these are the actions that we're taking and these are the changes that we're seeing that protects the business overall. And so again, this is orchestrated into a digital threat management platform. You can see here in the center of the slide, we have our RiskIQ logo in the side of a cloud. All of our solutions are SaaS-based. In the top left-hand corner, we have our digital footprint. So these are all of our externally facing assets reachable from the public internet across the web, mobile, and social channels. To the right of that, we have our imposter and rogue assets. So these are assets across the same web, mobile, and social channels, but these may pose a threat to your organization, employees, or customers. Below the fold here is essentially all of the data that RiskIQ has been collecting. This comes into our 24/7 reconnaissance and then all of the analytics and intelligence that we're gathering. And so through our advanced internet reconnaissance, we have our internet scans, our web crawlers, our global proxies, all of our partner relationships, all feeding into a data warehouse of 10 years worth of information. where we're curating all these data sets and doing analytics on them. We're applying machine learning algorithms, having our security team look at it, and have our data science team come up with new and innovative ways to query that information. Now, as a customer, one of the ways in which you're going to manage your attack surface or your entire digital threat management program is through RiskIQ's digital footprint. And so this product allows you to discover known, unknown, and rogue assets. So everything that we know is important in understanding our attack surface, digital footprint will surface that for us. And the way in which it does that is it automatically generates an internet-facing asset inventory across all of the assets in the business. And so this is going to look at all of the things that are online across web, mobile, and social, put it all in one spot for your team to manage. And then you can start doing things like assigning ownership and asking questions of your inventory. Once we've actually gone through and built that inventory out, we've collected everything about how you look like on the internet, we'll actually go back through and detail it, and we'll enrich it on a regular basis so that as it changes and evolves, we'll be able to alert your team to those changes so that you can then do something about it. And so what's great about digital footprint is that it can identify exposures and issues of non-compliance. And so you can visualize your attack surface similar to a graph that we saw earlier in the presentation. You can also discover orphaned assets, assets that you didn't necessarily know existed, maybe some shadow IT, or you can pinpoint specific assets that may be suffering from a lack of security controls or might be vulnerable to exploits that are being used in the wild. Last but not least, we want to make sure that we're not only providing you visibility and a means to understand the particular function of an asset or who owns it, but we also want to provide you with actual monitoring that is actively done. It's not passive. It doesn't require you to do anything. And so what we're going to be doing once we build out your inventory is essentially looking at it on a routine basis and surfacing all of those alerts to you and for the rest of your team to essentially triage. And each one of these alerts then corresponds to an action that can be taken, blocking something at a firewall, blocking something at a DNS level, blocking it at the browser level, taking it down, issuing a takedown, putting it in a research mode to monitor more. We offer a number of different actions that you or the security team can take once you've identified something within your digital footprint.